I invited my ex to my wedding, and my fiancé secretly uninvited him. Weddings are supposed to be one of the happiest days of our lives, a celebration of love, commitment, and the promise of forever. But behind every flower arrangement, every carefully chosen playlist, and every guest list, there's another truth. Weddings don't just reveal love, they reveal boundaries. And sometimes those boundaries don't break. They bend, quietly, until they snap. In today's story, from r/Am I the Asshole, we meet a groom who made what he believed was a respectful choice. He invited someone from his past, not to stir drama, not to reopen wounds, but because he saw no harm in including a person who had once meant a lot to him. His fiancée agreed. At least, that's what she said out loud. She smiled, she nodded. She said, "If it means something to you, then it's okay." But days before the wedding, the guest quietly vanished from the list. No explanation, no warning, just a silent deletion, and a digital trail that told a very different story. Now, the groom feels betrayed. Not because of the missing guest, but because of the missing trust. And his fiancée? She says she simply did what he refused to do, protect their marriage before it even began. So now, we ask, was this just a miscommunication? Or a warning sign of deeper cracks? Because sometimes a simple yes isn't really a yes. It's a placeholder, a quiet hope that the other person will figure it out without being told. I'm a 31-year-old man, and in just under 2 months, I'm supposed to marry the woman I love, Laura, who's 29. We've been together for 3 amazing years. She's thoughtful, driven, smart, and honestly, I've never felt more sure about anyone in my life. We've been planning our wedding together from day one, side by side. Every decision, from the venue to the seating chart, has been a shared conversation. And for the most part, it's been smooth. Until we hit one particular topic, my ex-girlfriend. Her name is Kira. We dated for 5 years before breaking up about 4 years ago. It was mutual. No cheating, no scandals. Just 2 people growing apart. But we stayed friends, not best friends. Not daily texting, heart-reacting every post friends. Just friends. We catch up every couple months, exchange birthday wishes, grab coffee when she's in town. It's cordial, not emotional. Laura has always known about Kira. They've met once or twice. Polite, not close. And honestly, I never thought it was an issue. So when it came time to finalize our guest list, I did what I thought was respectful. I brought it up to Laura directly. I said, "Hey, I know this might be a little awkward, but would you be okay if I invited Kira to the wedding? We ended things years ago, and she's been nothing but supportive. But if it makes you uncomfortable, I totally understand." Laura looked at me for a moment, then smiled. "If it's important to you, I'm okay with it." I even double-checked. "Are you sure? It really doesn't have to be a big deal." She nodded. "Really? It's fine." So I invited Kira. She RSVP'd yes, said she was happy for us. And that was that. Or at least, I thought it was. Last week, I got a message from Kira that made my stomach drop. "Hey, I just got an email from your wedding site. It says my RSVP has been canceled, and I'm no longer on the guest list. Did I do something wrong?" I was confused. I hadn't changed anything. So I logged into the system, and sure enough, her name was gone. Just gone. As if she had never been invited. I went to Laura, calmly, and asked, "Did you remove Kira from the guest list?" She didn't deny it. In fact, she barely hesitated. "Yes, I did. I know I said it was okay. I tried to be cool about it. But the closer we get to the wedding, the more I realized I don't want her there. I didn't want to start a fight with you, so I just made the decision quietly. I was stunned. Not just because she changed her mind. People are allowed to change their minds. But because she didn't talk to me about it. She didn't even hint that something was bothering her. I told her, "Look, you could have just told me. We could have had a real conversation. But instead, you went behind my back and made a choice for both of us." And then she said something I'll never forget. "You don't get to put your ex's comfort above my boundaries on our wedding day." And that's when I realized, this isn't just about a guest list. It's about trust. And maybe even about control. On both sides. Now, things are tense. We haven't really talked about it again. I've been sleeping in the guest room for a few nights just to cool off. Kira is understandably embarrassed and hurt. She asked if she did something wrong. I told her no, but I didn't have the heart to explain everything. And I'm here, stuck between the woman I love and a version of honesty I thought we had. So I'm asking Reddit, am I the asshole for inviting my ex to my wedding and confronting my fiancé for uninviting her behind my back? This isn't really a story about an ex. It's not even about a wedding guest list. What we're witnessing here is something much deeper and far more familiar than many of us might admit. It's a story about trust, emotional safety, and the silent space between two people who love each other, but didn't say what they really meant. Let's start with the groom. From his perspective, he did everything right. Or at least he thought he did. He communicated early. He asked for his fiancé's input. He gave her the power to say no, and when she said yes, he took her at her word. No sneaking, no guilt, no ulterior motives. His relationship with his ex wasn't hidden. It wasn't romantic. It wasn't emotional anymore. It was a quiet, respectful friendship. One rooted in the past, but not living in the present. And so, in his mind, the act of inviting her wasn't a betrayal. It was a gesture of honesty. A sign that he didn't feel the need to erase the past to honor his future. But the problem is, honesty doesn't always equal sensitivity.